Hi, welcome to the Lost and Found Project, episode 3.
Ooh, yeah.
I'm Brandy,
I'm Shelby.
and tonight we're going to talk about types of healing. The pain that you carry with you, what it's really like.
And being sober is not just about not using. There's a whole lot more that goes into this thing. Excuse me.
Forgiving yourself, we'll talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
Um,
We'll try to touch on a couple.
A few different things.
Yeah, and see where it goes. And what is your big announcement?
That we are going to be having guests on here soon. And we want to do a couple episodes, get comfortable, kind of make sure the equipment's working right.
Right.
And kind of let you guys get to know us a little bit first. You kind of know what you're watching, who you're watching, what our thoughts are, what we're about.
Yep. And just kind of bring the raw and uncut side that I guess people don't really get to see. I try to show it when I'm at work, when I'm talking to clients and stuff like that. But some of the stuff, like how, the marriage part, the recovery part, the like family part, just the stuff that that we don't get to talk about to a lot of people all the time. So where do you want to start?
I think we'll start with just the staying sober is not about using.
Okay.
Not just about not using. You know, people, you take the substance away, you still got the problems.
Yeah.
You still got you.
You got to figure out how to be okay in that numbness.
And in that, because you started using for a reason in the beginning, because you weren't okay in here. You didn't feel accepted. You didn't feel, you felt like there was something wrong in here. And so you put that substance there, and you're like, oh, that's better. That filled that hole.
Yep.
And you have to learn how to deal with that. Like, what does that look like? You know?
What's it like whenever you don't have that, when you don't get that instant, as a lot of people say, I got that warm, fuzzy feeling all the way through me. You wake up and you don't get to put that in your body no more. So what does life look like for you then?
And for me, and it was obviously at first it's hard because you're in a routine. So you get up, you do a shot of dope, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You do take your pills, you do all these things, and you don't have that anymore, right? It's kind of like when you stop smoking cigarettes.
Right.
It's that, that habit and that routine. And so at first you have to, it's easier with another person, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like, all right, we're going to not do this,
Right.
We're going to not do this together. But if it's by yourself, then it's like, nobody's going to know if I do it, right? I'll just do it one more time.
Right.
I'll just do it one more time. And that accountability is not there.
Right.
And so you have to have accountability if it's going to work. For me also, I was pretending to be who everybody else wanted me to be.
Oh, yeah.
The whole time, my whole life, I was. You wanted me to be this perfect mother. You wanted me to be the perfect daughter. You wanted me to be this person, and I wasn't that person. That's not who I was.
Right.
And even in school, I was pretending to be who I thought these people wanted me to be, so they'd be my friend, or so I could be good enough, or all these things, and it was just exhausting.
Right.
Because I didn't even know who I was.
Right.
And so, yeah.
I remember early in our relationship, you had told me a little bit about how in school you were always trying to be what the group wanted you to be. And I started thinking, like, how stressful, how difficult, how miserable. Because I think about my life, and it wasn't that I thought they wanted me to be this certain way. I felt like in order for me to fit in, I needed to be this certain way.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
Okay, so
yeah,
it's
that's
just
why I
worded
was
different.
trying to be. Yeah, it was just worded different.
Yeah.
I thought that's what I needed to be to fit in with the groups of people, and that's
miserable.
It was exhausting.
Yeah.
Because constantly wondering, am I good enough? Are they is my hair right? Is my clothes right? Did I say something wrong, or all these things, and that's what this overthinking brain, my adult brain is doing. Everybody else is just whatever, they're probably not even looking at my shoes.
Right.
They were.
Yeah. Yeah.
But and then you stop doing that, right? And you get in recovery, and there's nothing left. You know what I'm saying? Like there's nothing left. You get to just be you,
Yeah.
right? And it's so freeing. It's like all this weight's lifted, you know?
Yep.
You should just be you. And I remember I was so excited for like my mom, my sister, to get to know us, you know?
Yeah.
For who we are, not with the drugs and the lies and the manipulation and all the stuff that we had covered ourselves up with for so long.
Right.
Just us, you know? Goofy, you know?
We're
Goofy,
definitely goofy.
Laughing, sarcastic, just funny, you know, relaxed selves.
Yeah.
And that was so freeing. And I love that about today because I don't have to, you know,
Pretend.
I don't have to pretend that I'm perfect or this is great or whatever. If I'm stressed out or I'm sad or I'm mad or I screwed up, I just say it.
Right.
You know,
Right.
I just say it, and it's really freeing.
There's something about life today where you get to be a part of society without even realizing that you're a part of society, and like
And
you're
then
just
you're like,
going
wait,
through it.
what was all this stuff I have to do?
Right. Right. You're like waking up in the morning like, oh my gosh, I have to go. No, I get to go to work. I get to be a part of this.
Yeah.
And it's so funny, like every morning she wakes me up. It's no big secret. When I was little, my sister, my mom, my dad, alarm clocks. Hey, they're not going to wake me up, okay?
But I sing when I wake you up.
You do.
I'm not like, hey, get up out of bed.
Yeah.
You know, I'm in there
Yeah.
singing, like, good morning, good
Yeah.
morning.
And
Every day.
it's really pretty and it's really thoughtful and I appreciate it. Now, in that moment, I'm a sleeping bear and I'm like, ugh, like leave me alone.
The first thing you do, I'm like, good morning, good morning. I like touch you and you're like, ah.
Yeah. And but what's funny about that is like I'm waking up and by the time I get my clothes, I get my I take my morning medications and I get in the shower. By the time I get out of the shower, I'm like, all right, I get to do this. I get to be a part of this. Now, I'm not saying this out loud. I'm not happy-go-lucky skipping through the house. All of that is in my head.
You're pumping yourself up.
I'm pumping myself up for the day. Now, when we leave the driveway and we follow each other to work in our cars, that's her moment. That's my moment. That's probably the only time other than at work when we are not together. And that is like what is it, about 7-8 minutes from home to work?
It is, but it's funny because we'll go outside, right, and kiss each other goodbye.
Yeah.
Have a good day at work, right? Yeah. And so, and then we get in our cars and follow each other to work. But that's kind of how we make that cut, right? So it's like home,
work.
You know what I'm saying? Work.
Right.
And so then we're at work, and most of the clients didn't even know we were married.
Right. And that's
perfect.
That's awesome. That's how it should be.
And so, you know, and then we get home, hey, you know, or might talk at work and be like, hey, what's for dinner or something
Right.
like that. But it's nothing like a lot of other people could do, you know, or we worked really hard to cut that line. So that's why we do that, you know, and we still follow each other to work.
Right. So let's talk about like the forgiveness part, okay?
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you and then you can ask me, but so we're going to say your mom, that's what we're going to talk about with your mom. How do you think that for you, not for your mother, but how do you think for you the forgiveness of the shame and guilt, right? Because I really do not believe that your my mom, I don't believe mom did anything wrong to you or anything like that.
Never.
She's an amazing woman.
Never.
Now, I think the only thing that you did wrong was you just went left.
Oh, I lied and I stole and
right,
you
you
know,
went
I did
left.
a lot of wrong stuff to her.
So that's shame and guilt,
it was
though.
all an active addiction too.
Right,
You know,
right.
I didn't do it sober.
Right. So how did you start to learn, or how did you become able to start forgiving yourself to remove that shame and guilt from you?
That's shame and guilt for the stuff I did to her.
Right.
That's what you're asking me, not the
Yes.
other. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. man, it was hard because it was hard to even go to her house and look at her in the face, you
Right.
know? And I know I wrote it in like cards, you know, like I'm sorry, stuff like that, but it took time and it took consistency of us showing up and being there and just being around her and showing her that I'm a different person today. That is how I started to forgive myself.
Right.
Because I was proving that to myself too, that
Right.
I'm a different person today, and I'm here to help. I'm here to support, and of course I need a lot of support now too because early recovery, stuff like that. I'm real needy. I'm a spoiled brat too.
Yeah.
But and I tell myself I should call her more, and everybody knows that I am not a phone talker. I do not like talking on the phone.
Right.
But so I'll text her, and if I call her, she's like, "What's wrong?" I do need to start doing that more, because
Right.
one of these days she's not going to be there for me to call.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to get to, and we get to have conversations when we go to her house and, sit on the couch or whatever, just us, and have that time together that I missed out on for so many years.
Right.
And so that's hard for me. How do you, because your situation's different, your mom, you made, saying you made amends with your mom before she passed, but how do you forgive yourself? Because you forgave her.
Yeah, and I think honestly, I think in that moment, there was a moment that we had, and you got to experience that moment. There was a moment in the nursing home, before she passed away that I think that I was like, okay, whew, like that weight's lifted. Dang, we missed out on a lot of time together, because she was in active addiction, I was in active addiction, and in active addiction, we were like mortal enemies.
Oh man, it was
bad.
like Batman and Joker.
Yeah.
I'm serious. It
was bad, and maybe one day I'll tell that story on here. When my mom said she's seen the devil in my eyes, and I had kicked in her door, and I'm not going to tell the story, but I had kicked in her door, and there was some crazy stuff that happened in that night, and so that weighed real heavy on me for a long time. And then that day when I said, "Mom, can I pray for you? I love you and I'm sorry," like I felt like that was it. Like that, okay, I'm done, right? But then then getting to be around your mom, and then I substitute her as my mom now.
Yeah, she's your mom.
And so I try to protect that relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's how I get to try to be a better, son-in-law. I get to be a better husband. I get to be a better brother. I get to be a better father. And I practice that with your mom.
Mm-hmm.
And how do I protect this relationship? Because I don't ever want another female. I don't ever want another mother. I don't ever want another daughter to feel what I had put on my own mother as her son. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, absolutely. You don't ever want to make somebody else, another female, feel that way.
Right. And
that
fear,
hurt. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. And so it was, I really feel like, because the way that the phone call happened, we were riding, there was a lot of freedom that night, as beautiful motorcycle ride. I fully believe that my mom was able to ask Jesus into her life, and I believe that she got to go to see Jesus, and she's up there with her mom, my grandmother, and I believe that I got to let that go, so I don't carry that shame with me no more there.
You'll see him again.
Right. If I continue to follow this path, I do fully believe that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
The shame and guilt, it kills people.
Yeah.
It does. It almost killed us.
Yep.
The other shame and guilt that I'll talk about later that I carry.
Yeah.
I still carry a lot with me today, and
Yeah.
so I got to talk to the girls today about that at the center, and so that was
It
real
was
cool.
awesome to sit on the other side of the table and just be a spectator for that. I've heard the story, many times. Each time I hear the story, though, there's more bits that come out that I think you're beginning to be okay with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so
I have to share all the details and all the ugliest parts, the parts that hurt me the very most, because these
Right.
other girls are experiencing those exact same things, and
Right.
I want them to be able to be okay,
Right.
and to know that they're not alone. They're not the only person that's ever felt that way or ever done those things,
Right.
because you have to know that you're not the only one, and that somebody understands you and doesn't judge you for it before you can be okay.
Right. And then the last thing that we'll just kind of touch on real quick is like prayer, therapy, and journaling. Me personally, and this is just personal opinion, I'm not a big fan of therapists because I wholeheartedly believe 100% if you're in a 12-step fellowship of any kind, then I believe you can get your therapy better than I believe because you got a one-on-one sponsor, right?
If you have a good sponsor. I think you need 12-step and a therapist, personally.
Okay.
But I'm a girl and I like to talk.
Right.
So,
Right.
let me lay on your couch and talk for an hour.
Right. I feel like, but I am a big fan of journaling. I'm a big fan of writing it down because I believe once you put pen to paper, it becomes real. The power that it holds over you, it loses that power. There's a freedom that comes with it. And there's a man in a 12-step fellowship that told me this thing a long time ago about carrying buckets of 2 5-gallon buckets of crap around with you. And every step you take, those buckets are filled to the max full of crap. And every step you take, they slosh. And they slosh all over you. They slosh all over people you come in contact with. And they slosh everywhere you go. These buckets of crap slosh everywhere. And journaling, writing, doing the things that recovery requires you to do allows you to set those buckets down anytime you are ready and willing. And then you no longer have to carry these buckets of crap around with you. You set them down and you are free of those buckets. Buddy H was his name. He's an amazing man. He's in the same group that me and Brandy are a part of, and so that is my feelings on journaling and writing, and I do believe in prayer wholeheartedly. Mm-hmm. And so
I love journaling is great. It's good to have a good journal and set aside the time to journal. And I mean, in a perfect world, you have time to journal and do your meditations and your your prayers and read your Bible and all that stuff. You set that aside of time every day for like 30 minutes for that, but in a perfect world, and then reality sets in and you are getting up at 4:30 for work, and then you're rushing, tired and rushing around and doing this. You got these other responsibilities that come on, and it's not healthy to not do that, and I am guilty of being too busy to do it myself, here and now.
Right.
There was times that 2 years and 3 years sober, I was doing it every day, and then you just stop, right? And so even me, I'm guilty of not doing it. I need to do it more.
Right.
And so I would like to. I'd like to set a goal to start doing that more.
Right.
And so nighttime is the best time for me to do it, but because mornings, it's just not. It's not.
Yeah.
I can't really focus, but night times are always better for me. So I don't know. I'll try to get that. I always heard it was easier to start a habit when you place it after another habit. So let's say every night after you brush your teeth, you do 20 setups, right? So then put it right after that.
Right.
Every night you brush your teeth. Okay, well, now after I brush my teeth, I'm going to do my journal. So if you place it right after another habit, then it's easier to do.
Wow, I like that. I like that. So, guys, this is episode 3, 4.
3. Longer than we intended. Sorry about that.
Right. But we are looking forward to it. There's going to be some clips, I believe, that you got of me today.
Some clips of him do a group at the center. And today I love watching him do groups. He gets real passionate. So, I don't know. Maybe he'll get some clips of me later this week.
Yeah, we're gonna do. I am going to. I'm gonna record her when she's speaking. I'm gonna just do probably audio, probably not actual video. It'll probably just be an audio deal.
Video might be.
Right. But guys, we're really excited about what we've got going on, what we've got coming up. We're going to try our best to start dropping stuff more frequently.
Every day.
We want you to like, we want you to subscribe, and we want you to sit down, relax, and enjoy
Share.
our stories and share.
We want to get it out. That's the whole point, is to get the substance abuse and homelessness awareness and all this stuff out there, so that people know that it's real people with stories. You know, it's everybody has a story, and everybody is not hopeless. I mean, you know what I'm saying? A lost cause.
There's a lot of people on the internet that I'm seeing today that are doing, you know, TikTok lives, and they're doing the Facebook shorts, and they're doing all these things talking about addiction and how, and that's super cool. That's how we get it out there. There are humans out there that are trying to fight these battles daily, and they're losing daily. So,
and we pray for the ones that are still suffering, and we need more funding.
Yeah, funding is a big deal.
State funding for substance abuse.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
all right. Well,
we love you guys. You have a great day.